want to make a call in Kenya, especially to comrade the President William Ruto. Stop doing what you are doing.
Scores of Kenyans gathered outside Parliament to protest controversial tax hikes, with police deploying tear gas and making arrests. The East African economic powerhouse has struggled with a biting cost of living crisis, which critics say will only worsen under the proposed levies. The cash-strapped government has defended the move, projected to raise some 346.7 billion shillings. That's about $2.7 billion US dollars, equivalent to 1.9% of the GDP, as a necessary measure to cut reliance on external borrowing. Dubbed Occupy Parliament and hashtag Reject Finance Bill 2024, news of the protest was shared online after an activist leaked members of Parliament contact details, urging people to bombard them with calls and messages to shoot down a bill proposing the new hikes. Here's a report from Nairobi.
There is trouble in Kenya. Days after the 2024-25 budget was presented in Parliament by the Treasury Ministry, there is something else that is roiling millions of Kenyans. And it's not what read out to them in the annual budget. The proposed Finance Bill 2024, aimed at amending tax laws and revenue-raising measures, has ignited a firestorm of public discontent in Kenya. As the nation's legislature is prepared to deliberate the bill's fate, a resounding chorus of disapproval has erupted. You see, the problem began in 2023, when the country's President William Ruto made his first State of the Nation address after being elected to office. He strongly defended his economic measures laid out in a bill that he proposed then, which eventually became the Finance Bill of 2024.
The time has come, therefore, to retire the false comforts and illusionary benefits of wasteful expenditure and counterproductive subsidies on consumption, by which we dug ourselves deeper into the hole of avoidable debt.
This drew the wrath of economists and the opposition, which organized countrywide rallies to denounce the proposal. The chorus has been sung throughout last year and better part of this year.
Ruto's government is doing the right thing at the wrong time, at the wrong place. The money he wants to build houses with, he should use it to lower the cost of living. There's no need to sleep in a flat when you're hungry. You are better off living in a metal sheet house and being well fed.
If they say we protest for 5 years, we will protest for 5 years. If they say we protest from Monday to Sunday, that is what we will do.
But this year, the kind of protests and channels used to vent the anger is different. Citizens voice their concerns through various channels, including social media campaigns like hashtag Reject Finance Bill 2024. At the heart of the controversy lies several contentious provisions that have drawn widespread criticism. The introduction of a 2.5% tax on the value of motor vehicles, with a minimum threshold of Kenya shillings 5,000 and a maximum cap of Kenya shillings 100,000, has raised concerns about the potential burden on car owners. Similarly, the proposed revisions to the per diem taxation, which hinge on employers having approved policies and peg the maximum daily allowance at 5% of employees' gross monthly salaries, have sparked fears of reduced takeaway pay for workers. The bill's proposal to raise the pension contribution limit from 20,000 to 30,000 per month has received a mixed response, with some viewing it positively, while others worrying about its implications for disposable income. Furthermore, the repeal of the digital services tax and the introduction of a significant economic presence tax with an effective rate of 6% have faced resistance from those concerned about the potential impact on digital transactions.
We have evidence of the interventions where, for example, when you look at the macro prices, which is inflation, exchange rates, and interest rates, inflation is down. You see stability on foreign exchange, which also is an indication of how the economy is doing. But there is a concern when it comes to the cost of credit in the economy. Interest rates are at 17% plus. So really, which business can be able to lend at that rate?
The budget, as I see it, is not going to benefit most of us. It's going actually to bring a lot of pain to the mostly to the common mwananchi. Because if all the basic commodities are going to be affected by this tax, which is actually being raised, like if say you hear that VAT will be from 16 to 22%, or even if it goes to 18%, it's still too high.
Perhaps the most contentious aspect of the bill is the proposed imposition of a 16% value-added tax on bread, a staple food item previously zero-rated. Citizens argue that this move will directly impact their daily lives and household budgets, exacerbating the already challenging economic conditions faced by many households. While the bill introduces an eco-levy, signaling the government's commitment to environmental conservation, its specifics and potential impact remain subjects of intense scrutiny. Additionally, the proposed increase in the VAT registration threshold from KES 5 million to KES 8 million, the exemption of the transfer of businesses as a going concern from VAT, and the subjection of certain financial services to VAT have further fueled the public debate. The ball is now with the country's National Assembly. Most parliamentarians will not outrightly reject the bill, but will instead scrutinize contentious clauses, such as the bread tax. Lawmakers find themselves at a crossroads, tasked with balancing the need to fund the government operations and address the genuine concerns of their constituents. Africa Bureau, Beyond. World is One.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.